Each genre of trailer editing requires a different approach to the cutting process. Starting with drama, let's take a look at some of the specific storytelling and character development techniques you'll need to master in order to cut a professional-looking trailer. Typically, drama editing is a bit less technically challenging than action, comedy, and suspense, as the editorial is a little bit less flashy and slower paced. However, drama is quite a bit more challenging when it comes to effectively telling a story and developing characters that your audience will care about and want to see more of. There are 5 important drama trailer rules to keep in mind as you plan, edit, and finesse your cut. Rule number 1. Tell a story about people, not events and things. Rule number 2. Establish main characters and plot. Rule number 3. Show the character arcs as much as possible. Rule number 4. Keep the characters likable, or at least relatable. And rule number 5. Hint at a happy or gratifying ending, even if there isn't one. So let's dig a little bit deeper into rule number 1. Tell a story about people, not events and things. Focus on the characters and the relationships. Take the time to craft and play out intimate moments between the characters. Make the most of little glances, smiles, and dramatic pauses. Remember, dramas are about people. So often, the internal stakes for individual characters play a much larger role than the external stakes, like saving the world. Do they find love, find peace, find happiness? You'll want to focus on the character's journey as they seek out this fulfillment. They'll be encountering challenges along the way. That's what makes them relatable to the rest of us, and it helps us to care about them. And you'll have to figure out how to connect all the big emotional moments together with the underlying thread of the story in a way that makes sense and provides a character arc that leads to a climactic moment. Okay, rule number 2. Establish the main characters and the plot. Sometimes this is easier said than done. A classic way to do this in a standard drama is to introduce your primary character, the person through whose eyes the story is primarily told. Then introduce your secondary character. Then have them meet and get into all the complications. It's okay not to know how exactly things are going to fit together in the first couple days of cutting a trailer. Sometimes it's a bit tricky, especially in movies with many characters or ensemble casts. Don't get discouraged. You'll likely be spending the most time cutting the first third of the trailer and figuring out exactly how to set up your characters and tell the shorthand of the story in a way that makes sense. It's important, so you need to get it right. This is where your paper cut, if you did one, will likely help you quite a bit in figuring out the whole puzzle. Also, try to keep the sound effects and sound design simple for now. In a drama, there typically isn't too much of this anyway, but just be careful. You'll need to do a lot of rearranging and shifting of moments, lines, and shots to get the character arc right. There's going to be a bit of trial and error here and there to see how things are feeling with the pacing and the music, a bit more than in other trailer genres. If you keep your audio simple, mostly just a music cue and your lines, your cut will be easy to manipulate quickly. Rule number 3. Show the character arcs as much as possible. The characters will be transforming during the cut. Keep in mind where they should start and where they should end up. Build everything with this in mind. For example, in many relationship dramas, one or both of the characters will be disinterested in the relationship initially, and then gradually move towards the other end of the spectrum and be fully invested by the end. What are the transformative scenes and lines you'll need to get you there? How do you connect them together? A great example of a transformative moment in a trailer is this moment from the trailer from Me Before You, where Will finally admits his love for Louisa.
Tell me something good.
When I was little, my favourite outfit was my bumblebee tights.
Bumblebee tights.
Black and yellow stripes.
Oh dear God.
Didn't you ever love anything that much?
Yes.
Loving can hurt.
Alright, rule number 4. You need to keep at least the main character likable, or at least relatable. In a feature, you have a bit more time to flesh out the intricacies of a troubled personality and make an audience feel for a character. In 2 minutes and 30 seconds or less, you could easily take your trailer down a road that's hard to recover from. A good example of keeping a challenging character likable is in the trailer for The Beaver, starring Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster. Mel's character is a troubled man, husband, and father. On top of that, Mel Gibson himself was less than popular at the time because of some of his own actions in real life. In order to keep the character likable, the editing team on the trailer really had to focus on showing that the character wasn't just a jerk. He had problems, weaknesses, insecurities, and feelings just like the rest of us. To achieve this requires very careful selection of lines and shots throughout the piece. Be mindful of this potential pitfall if you find yourself editing a trailer with a similarly challenging main character. Alright, and last is rule number 5. Hint at a happy or gratifying ending, even if there isn't one. No matter how dark and sad a movie is, you still need people to want to see it. And nobody goes to the movies hoping to be depressed. There has to be a glimmer of hope. In the trailer for The Fault in Our Stars, we see the story of a terminally ill girl who meets a boy and they fall in love. It's made clear that she only has a limited amount of time left, but the trailer doesn't dwell on that. Towards the end, the music is uplifting, the messaging is positive and hopeful, and the visuals convey a sense of happiness.
You gave me a forever within the numbered days, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity.
It's a good life, Hazel Grace. Okay.
So, in this lesson, we talked about the 5 drama rules to keep in mind with regard to storytelling and character development. Rule number 1, tell a story about people. Rule number 2, establish main characters and plot. Rule number 3, show the character arcs. Rule number 4, keep the characters likable. And rule number 5, hint at a happy ending, which sometimes isn't that easy. Coming up in the next lesson, we're going to look at some of the techniques for creating emotion in a cut. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. In the last lesson, we talked about some important tips to keep in mind when fleshing out the story and the characters in a drama trailer. In this lesson, we're going to show you how to make people care about them by creating emotion in a cut. We'll be covering 3 primary tools for creating this emotion: pacing, music and sound, and montaging. Let's start with pacing. In general, the pacing of a drama trailer is a bit slower than action and comedy. You want to give the audience time to feel the moments and live in the scenes a little bit. Earlier in the course, we talked about a key distinction between films and most trailers. That is, an audience looks into a film, but they look at a trailer. Looking at an action trailer is fine because it's shiny, flashy, and loud. But with a drama, you want your viewers to look into them. You want them to become immersed and emotionally invested, just as they would if they were sitting down watching the film itself. They should be able to relate to the characters and the situations in the trailer, and be able to see themselves in the place of the actors. For that reason, give your moments time to breathe. Linger on that subtle look between characters, and don't be afraid to let a scene play out a little bit. When there's a genuine and moving interaction between characters that contains an important story or relationship development point, give it some time to play as it would in the film. Another pacing tip is don't insert too much dialogue. When you have wall-to-wall talking, you never give the audience the time to process the information and feel the various emotions that you're trying to convey. And third, be mindful of the break into 3. This usually is a key line or moment that brings the first 2/3 of a trailer to a peak. Often, You'll stop the music for this line and you'll deliver it in the clear to emphasize it. Then, you'll bring the music back in and launch into Act 3 with swelling music, montage, and messaging. In Me Before You, the moment looks like this.
I promised my parents 6 months, and that's what I've given them.
But that was before me.
I want him to live, but only if he wants to live.
We can't just let this happen.
You can't change who people are.
I mean, what can you do?
You love them. And if you hurt me.
So here, the break into 3 happens right after the father says, "You love them," and the music swells and begins Act 3 with lyrics and graphic cards.
I mean, what can you do?
You love them. And if you hurt me.
In the Louder Than Bombs trailer, the moment is a bit subtler. There's no line delivered right before the break, but the music dips and the dramatic intensity increase should be pretty obvious. Take a look.
There's no story in a car accident. So people have to make one up. They have to invent something so that they have something to blame.
It's our life. It's our family's life.
In this trailer, the car accident is the break into 3. The dialogue delivered from Jesse Eisenberg talks about the accident a bit. Then the crash occurs with big sound effects, and Act 3 begins with the music landing powerfully.
It's our life. It's our family's life.
So, creating emotion with music and sound is mostly a straightforward process, but there are a few tricks that'll help you do it more effectively. First, you'll want to choose a couple cues for your trailer that fit the emotion you're going for. Now, that's obvious. One trick is to edit the music in a way so that the right sections of the cue play in the appropriate sections of your trailer. Sometimes, that'll mean you'll need to extend the music a bit by looping it. Use your markers to find the right beats to loop the cue. And other times, that'll mean upcutting the music, or bringing in a bigger section of the cue a bit sooner, because the storytelling in the trailer calls for an increase in intensity. Again, use your markers and the waveform as a visual guide of where these beats occur, and try to make the edit sound organic to the cue. Consider also using cymbal swells and drum rolls to layer on top of these transitions and help smooth them out a little bit. And last, speaking of cymbal swells and drum rolls, use these types of sound design to accent certain emotional moments in your trailer. Good places to consider adding these types of sounds are music transitions, graphics, and big moments.
Loving can heal.
In your back-end montage specifically, you'll want to have a fairly regular rhythm of moments landing with intensity, which you'll often accomplish by adding cymbal swells, drum rolls, and hits, spaced out across the biggest beats of your back-end music. Keep in mind that you won't always need this added layer of sound design, even in the biggest parts of your trailers. The exception particularly applies when you're using a very well-known and moving song with lyrics, like in the trailer for The Impossible, which uses Damien Rice's cover of One by U2. With a powerful song like that, you'll want to let it play uninterrupted as much as possible, and just try to connect key visuals with certain lyrics. Okay, so finally, let's talk about montaging to create emotion in a cut. Almost all of the montaging in any trailer will occur in Act 3. Once your story's been told, the stakes have been raised, relationships have been transformed, and we're ready to sit back and live in the drama for a little bit. Here are 3 drama montage tips to keep in mind as you're crafting one together. First, most montages will play with the music at its biggest. You'll likely already have laid this part of the music into your timeline earlier as you laid the foundation with audio. Second, drama montages are about displaying a wide range of emotions through physical looks, gestures, and actions. Look at this montage from the Louder Than Bombs trailer.
How can I be by myself?
I'm okay.
I can never be alone.
Family, they love you.
Gods can call me.
We're seeing joy, comfort, laughter, peace, love, and most of all, human connection. Third, you can include a relevant dialogue grid or a graphical card run. Just because your montage is focusing on visuals doesn't mean your back-end emotional build can't deliver a verbal message, reinforcing the main theme of your film. In the Louder Than Bombs trailer, that message is spaced out nicely in a dialogue grid and says,
Family, they love you.
Gods can call me.
You can feel it.
Can I be by myself?
And you love them too. More than anything.
Fourth, include some scope. When you're showing the transformation of your characters and trying to create an emotional connection, be careful not to let your shots get too claustrophobic. That is, pepper in some visually engaging medium and wide shots amidst all the close-ups and facial expressions. And fifth, as with any montage in any trailer, end on your most powerful moment. Very often, that will include a close-up of a human face.
Who made me possible?
You are pretty much the only thing that makes me want to get up in the morning.
Wait for me to come home.
Okay.
In this lesson, we looked at some drama editing techniques for creating emotion in a cut. We specifically discussed pacing, music and sound techniques, and some tips for montaging in your drama trailer. Coming up in the next lesson, we'll be diving into the comedy genre and deconstructing a full comedy trailer to get a feel for the genre and get a look at some of the editorial tools used. All right, I'll see you in a bit. This is going to be your first deconstruction lesson. Deconstruction lessons are meant to break down and analyze a real trailer cut by a professional editor, and look at how they've employed all the various techniques we discuss in the course. This particular trailer deconstruction will be focused on a trailer in the drama genre, specifically Trailer 1 for the film Me Before You. As you're watching, keep an eye out for some of the key drama editing fundamentals. Watch how the editor tells a clear and concise story up front to establish the characters and the world. Notice how they craft a logical character arc for the couple as they go from awkward strangers to passionate lovers in the end. Observe how they carefully use music to control the emotion of the cut, and how they accent the key moments with appropriate sound design to draw the viewer's attention to the important bits. Alright, I'll play the entire 2-minute and 18-second trailer from start to finish. Then we'll go back together and deconstruct it.
We've tried the chicken factory.
I'm still having nightmares about those giblets.
We've tried beautician.
Turns out hot wax is not my friend.
I'm running out of options for you here, Louisa.
Please, I'll take anything.
And this is new care and companionship for a disabled man.
Do you have any experience of caregiving?
I've never done it, but I'm sure I could learn.
Then let's go meet Will. Will, this is Louisa Clark. Nathan will talk you through Will's routines and equipment.
You don't have to talk across me, Mother. My brain isn't paralysed. Yet.
You've got
Good morning.
Oh, he hates me. Every time I speak, he looks at me like I'm stupid. To be fair, you are pretty stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet.
Interesting choice of footwear.
What do you mean by that?
They can't be from around here.
Why not?
This is the kind of place people come to when they got tired of actually living.
I'm happy here.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be. You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible. No. Stay. Tell me something good.
When I was little, my favourite outfit was my bumblebee tights.
Bumblebee tights.
Black and yellow stripes.
Oh, dear God.
Didn't you ever love anything that much?
Yes.
Loving can hurt.
Please don't tell me you shaved off my eyebrows.
Neither one.
Can I take you somewhere?
You are so going on a date with Will Trainer.
It's too booby.
Get the red dress out.
We keep this
I
love.
don't want to go in yet. I just want to be a man who's been to a concert with a girl in a red dress a few minutes.
Loving can heal.
I promised my parents 6 months, and that's what I've given them.
But that was before me.
I want him to live, but only if he wants to live.
We can't just let this happen.
You can't change who people are.
I mean, what can you do?
You love them.
And if you hurt me,
I don't want you to miss all of the things that someone else could give you.
inside these pages,
I can make you happy.
I won't ever let you go.
I have become a whole new person because of you.
Do you know something, Clark? You are pretty much the only thing that makes me want to get up in the morning.
Wait for me to come home.
Alright, now let's take a closer look. Act 1 begins with music up, and Louisa is at a hiring agency desperate for a job.
We've tried the chicken factory.
She gets assigned to be a caregiver for a wealthy disabled man named Will.
I'm running out of options for you here, Louisa.
Please, I'll take anything.
And this is new care and companionship for a disabled man.
The editor uses a wide scope shot and a cut to a bigger section of the music cue to bring us to the new location.
Disabled man.
Do you have any experience of caregiving?
I've never
As Louisa and Will meet, we see plenty of facial reactions showing the awkward tension, and Will makes a sarcastic joke that his brain isn't paralyzed.
Equipment?
You don't have to talk across me, Mother. My brain isn't paralysed. Yet.
The editor uses a music stop with a ring out right before he says the word yet to emphasize it.
My brain isn't paralysed. Yet.
We see a reaction shot from Louisa, and then the music comes back in to yet a bigger section of the cue, now with lyrics.
You've got
Good morning.
We see their awkward developing relationship, with a conversation between Louisa and her girlfriend serving as a grid. Jump cuts are used to keep the pace up and give a lot of visual information quickly.
Oh, he hates me. Every time I speak, he looks at me like I'm stupid. To be fair, you are pretty stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet.
The trailer moves on to flesh out some more serious exchanges between Louisa and Will about his general unhappiness.
Interesting choice of footwear.
What do you mean by that?
They can't be from around here.
Why not?
This is the kind of place people come to when they got tired of actually living.
Dips to black are used to move quickly from scene to scene and play up the drama a bit.
Actually living.
I'm happy here.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be. You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible.
We end Act 1 in a scene with the couple talking about a pair of Louisa's favorite tights as a child.
When I was little, my favourite outfit was my bumblebee tights.
Bumblebee tights.
Black and yellow stripes.
Oh dear God.
She asks Will if he's ever loved anything that much. The music stops and rings out, and Will responds in the clear, yes.
Didn't you ever love anything that much?
Yes.
The emotional connection between the two has now been established, and we begin Act 2, where the new relationship will be expanded on.
Loving can hurt.
Act 2 begins a new music cue with soft, dramatic lyrics. The pace has been dropped substantially, and we're in a very emotional world now. Slow dips to black move us gently from one moment to the next.
I don't want to go in yet. I just want to be a man who's been to a concert with a girl in a red dress a few minutes.
Loving can heal.
I promised my parents 6 months, and that's what I've given them.
But that was before me.
I want him to live, but only if he wants to live.
As Will gets sicker and more depressed, the emotion builds to a peak where Louisa asks, "What can you do?" as the music stops and rings out again. In the clear, her father answers, "You love them."
And what can you do?
You love them.
This is the climax of Act 2, and the pivotal moment that sets us up for the emotional journey we're going to experience in Act 3. So now we begin Act 3, and using a cymbal, a drum roll, and a hit,
And if you hurt me,
the editor brings in the biggest part of this second music cue as they land the first graphic card in a card run that says, "Live boldly, live well, just live."
I don't want you.
Each card is landed on a main, evenly spaced beat of music and is accented by the same cymbal, drum roll, and hit. In between the cards, we have shots of the couple expressing a wide range of emotions in a montaged fashion. The music builds to its climax, which lands us on an intimate shot of the couple.
I have become a whole new person because of you.
A softer instrumental section of the cue is spliced onto the end to keep the rhythm going a bit, and we hear the biggest statement of the trailer, where Will says,
Do you know something, Clark? You are pretty much the only thing that makes me want to get up in the morning.
The main title is brought on with a cymbal swell, and we hear a closing section of the song lyrics.
Wait for me to come home.
And there it is. The editor who cut the trailer for Me Before You did a great job with all the important drama editing fundamentals. They told a clear and concise story up front to establish the characters and the world. They crafted a logical character arc for the couple as they went from awkward strangers to passionate lovers. They carefully used music to control the emotion of the cut between acts and story points. And they accented the key moments with appropriate sound design to draw the viewer's attention to the important bits. All right, I'll see you in a bit.